Numerical exercise 3.2, question number 2. Sorry, question number 3. Okay. So we have to do question number 3 now. So look carefully. What they are saying is a body is vertically, not that one, sorry. A boy on a cliff. A boy on a cliff. How much high? 49-meter high. Drops a stone. 1 second later, he throws. Understand here. First one he has dropped. Second one he has thrown. 1 second later, he throws a second stone downward after the first. They both hit the ground at the same time. Mark that one. They both hit the ground at the same time. Question is, with what speed did he throw the second stone? So after reading the question, which stone was dropped? First stone or second stone? Which stone is dropped? First stone is dropped. Second stone? What about second stone? Second stone is thrown, remember. So there is a difference between dropping something and throwing something. Okay. When you drop, we know initial velocity is 0. When you drop, when you throw, initial velocity cannot be 0. Okay, students? Fine. So let us draw a picture. As I told, all physics problems, please try to draw pictures. Okay, so they told there is a cliff. There is a cliff. What is the height of the cliff? 49 meters. Right? Then one stone, let us call that stone A. So one stone A is dropped. Drop matlab initial velocity of this stone is 0. Initial velocity is 0 because this is dropped. And second stone, let us call that stone B. This one is not dropped, it is thrown with some velocity u, which we have to find. Okay, but this is thrown at what time? 1 second later. 1 second later. So 1 second later. 1 second later means if you drop this at 10 o'clock, if you drop this at 10 o'clock, this one is thrown after 1 second. 10 o'clock past 1 second. Okay. Now in the question they told both of them reach at the same time. Both of them reach the ground at the same time. At the same time. Now students, apply some common sense and answer. Okay. Suppose these are the two stones. Listen carefully all of you. These are the two stones. Suppose this one is dropped. And this one is dropped like this after 1 second. Will they reach the ground at the same time? This one is dropped now and this is dropped 1 second later. Then they cannot reach. But if I drop this now and this one if I throw, then after 1 second if I throw this one, then it is possible that they can reach at the same time. So the question is, with what speed I should throw so that they reach the ground at the same time? Question is clear or not clear? This one is dropped. After 1 second, if you drop this, they will never reach at the same time. So what I'm doing, I'm throwing this one. I'm throwing the second one. Of course, you can't throw up. If you throw up, it will never reach on the same time. You have to throw down only, right? Okay. So this is clear, I hope, to everyone. Now, answer this question, all of you. Suppose Pankaj sir is here, you are here. Okay, we both start from the same place. We both start from the same place. And both of us, we have to reach another place. Say this is our home and this is college. Okay, so now suppose I started at 10 a.m. I started at 10 a.m. and I reached here at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Okay, but you started after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes you started. Okay, I started at 10 o'clock, you started 5 minutes later, 5 minutes later. But somehow you also reached here at 11. It is possible maybe you came faster, you were running, let's say I was walking, you are running. So you reached here at same time. Now, how much time Pankaj sir took? How much time Pankaj sir took? 1 hour. How much time you took? How much time you took? 1 hour minus 5 minutes. Correct or not? 1 hour minus 5 minutes, can I say or not? 55 minutes you took, matlab 1 hour minus 5 minutes. So that concept is very important. Okay. These two started from the same place. They reached the same place. Place is same. Place. This place and this place. But this stone started 1 second later. But this one also reached at the same time according to question. So therefore, one thing is very clear. One thing is very clear. If ball A takes time equal to t, let us say t is the time taken to reach ground, then ball B takes time how much? T minus 1. Very good. No one is writing t plus 1. So it should not be t plus 1, t minus 1. Now students, in exam, they may ask you another question where they may say this one starts 5 seconds later. 5 seconds later. Then t minus 5 you write. Okay. So this second ball will take t minus 1 to reach the ground. Write this quickly. Then we will start the solution. No, wait, why? In the formula, nothing, weight and all, anything matters. Once we study about Newton's law, then mass will come in the picture, but to cover a certain distance, it will not take time. Okay. Channa, you were not understanding what I told about me and you reaching from home to your college. That part you understood or not? If I start 10 o'clock and Channa, you start 5 minutes late, but both of us reach the place at the same time, then you will take how much time? 5 minutes more or 5 minutes less? Quickly answer. So this is also, this started 1 second late, so it will take 1 second less time. So if I take 1 hour, you will take 1 hour minus 1 seconds. Understood? We don't know the time. Please concentrate, okay, properly. It is very simple. And somebody is saying weight and all. In kinematics, we don't need to worry about the mass of the object. And please write down. If you don't write, it will be waste. This class will be waste. Okay. So for ball B, for ball A, I know the displacement from here to here, right? I know the initial velocity is 0. So what is the formula? Displacement equals to ut plus half at square. So now in our problems, we take downward positive or downward negative in most of our problems of gravity. Downward we take positive, right? So what is the displacement for ball A from here to here? 49 plus 49. What is the initial velocity of ball A? Ball A was dropped. So initial velocity is 0. Under what acceleration they are falling? They are falling under acceleration due to gravity. So acceleration will be downwards plus g. So you can write, and the value of g. Students, if they don't tell you the value of g, you have to write the exact value. You have to write the exact value. Okay, so the exact value of acceleration is plus 9.8 d square. Just simplify this. So 49 equals to, this is 0. 9.8 divided by 2, 4.9 t square. So t square will be 49 divided by 4.9, which is 490 divided by 49, which will be t square will be 10. So t will be root of 10. Take square root of 10, it will come 3.162 seconds. 3.162 seconds. Quickly write. Okay. Done, right? Okay. Now, we know that ball A took 3.162 seconds. Now tell me how much time ball B will take. We know already ball B will take, thus ball B will take time 3.162 minus 1, right? Because ball A took 3.162. So this will be 2.162 seconds. So this is time taken by which ball? Ball B. So now let us again apply the same formula for ball B. For ball B, what is the equation I am going to use? Displacement equals to ut plus half at square. Is the displacement same or different? Displacement is same or different? Same, right? How much it is? Plus 49. Can I write initial velocity 0 this time? No, because it is thrown. Since it is thrown, we have to find the initial velocity. We don't know the initial velocity, so you have to write. Time taken is how much? 2.162 plus half. Acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 into 2.162 square. Okay, write that part in a straight line. Okay, I don't have space, so you write in a straight line. In the same line you write. Mathematics should never be done like this. Now simply you can take your calculator and solve. Okay, so 49 equals to u into 2.162 plus 9.8 divided by 2 will be 4.9. Multiply 4.9 with 2.162 square. You will get 29.903. Check this answer once. Is it correct? Up to 3 decimal place let us write. Okay. Up to 3 decimal place we will write. Not more than that also. Then bring it this side. So u into 2.162 will be 49. If this comes here, it will be minus 22.903. That will give you u into 2.162 equals to 26.097. Okay. Then you just divide this by this. 097 divided by 2.162. That will come 9.99, I think. 9.991 meter per second. That would be the answer. Check once the answer, students. For board exam, please use calculator so that you can give exact answer, not approximate answer. Not distance, displacement, Yash. Both of them started from same place and they reached same place. No, they went like this. Yash, both of them started from here and both of them reached here. So what will be displacement? Same or different? Same, that's why it is same only. Okay, some mistake I have done. Huh? What is the answer? 12.070, right? 12.070. Oh, obviously, when you divide 26 by 2, for example, if this question is for entrance, you will get 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 13 point something will come. So since it is more than 2, your answer will be slightly less than 13. Okay. Everybody understood why the displacement was same for both the balls? Because they started from the same place and they reached from the same place. Okay. "98 meters." Huh? In the question, it was 98 meters. Huh? Which question you have seen? 49 meters it is given, no? Question number 3. Yes, I think you are seeing wrong question. Numeric, that's why I wrote the title, numerical exercise 3.2, question number 3. Oh, you have seen the home exercise. Home exercise you tried today, okay? Okay, let us see now. Exam corner, question number 1. Exam corner, question number 1. After that, I will do some problems from my side, some extra problems. Then we will start the next chapter. Is it possible to have a situation, listen carefully what it is saying. Is it possible to have a situation in which dV bar by dt is not equal to 0, but dV by dt is equal to 0? And what is V here representing? Here V is representing magnitude of this vector, this velocity vector. Now, I hope everybody remembers differentiation, right? So if differentiation of something is 0, what should be this? Differentiation formulas you must be remembering, right? So this must be constant. So if you take differentiation of constant, then that is always 0. That is because differentiation means rate of change. Rate of change of this with respect to this. So if this is constant, how it will change? It will not change. So rate of change will be 0. For example, if the runs are constant, then your run rate will be 0 because runs are not changing. So if this is constant, differentiation is 0. Now they are asking, is it possible for this? Here you can see it is not 0. So according to this equation, V bar should be constant or it should change. According to this equation, V bar should be constant or it should change. It should change because it is not equal to 0. And what this is saying? Magnitude should be constant. Magnitude should be constant. Correct? So is it possible to have a situation where velocity vector is changing but magnitude is constant? Is it possible that there is a vector which is changing but magnitude is not changing? Yeah, direction is involved. Is it possible? For example, take this vector. Suppose this vector is here, 2 meter per second. Magnitude of the vector gives you what of the vector? Magnitude of the vector gives you the length of the vector, right? So suppose this vector has magnitude 2 meter per second. Now suppose I do like this. Then suppose I do like this. Then suppose I do like this. Then suppose I do like this. What is constant? Vector is constant or magnitude is constant? Magnitude is constant. See? But direction is changing or not changing? Channa, direction is changing or not changing? Direction is changing. So it is very much possible in circular motion. In circular motion, it is possible that your body is moving always with same magnitude of velocity. It is always moving with same magnitude. So the magnitude is constant, but you can see direction is changing. So in this problem, if I ask you, what is constant? Magnitude is constant or vector is velocity is constant? Speed is constant or velocity is constant here? Here speed is constant or velocity is constant? Speed, because speed is nothing but magnitude of velocity. Speed is nothing but magnitude of velocity. So the question was, is it possible to have a situation like this? Answer is yes. Yes. In uniform circular motion, speed, which we write just v, speed is constant. Therefore, dv by dt will be 0. But vector, which is velocity, okay, velocity vector is changing. Why it is changing? Because direction is changing. Therefore, this will be 0 or not 0? 0 or not 0? It is changing. Velocity vector is changing. So it will be not 0. So it is possible, students, that the magnitude is constant. Therefore, the differentiation is 0. But the vector is changing. Vector is changing. So differentiation is not 0. Write down. No, vice versa is not possible. Because if this is changing, this will also change, no? If magnitude will change, vector will change, no, 100%. So if this is changing, this will also change, but it is possible that this is constant, but this is changing. Okay? Most of you gave wrong answer for this in the beginning. Please try to think. We have covered this many times. Question number 2, you see. Concentrate on question number 2 now. Figure shows position of a particle moving on x-axis as a function of time. As a function of time. They just want to know what is the sign of the average velocity for the interval shown. So for whatever interval they have drawn the graph, for that interval we have to find the sign of average velocity, students, not instantaneous velocity. So don't draw any tangent like that. Average velocity is found in a different way. So let us do it. So this is x, this is t. This line is something like this. And your graph looks, your position versus time graph looks something like this. Okay, so this is the interval they have shown. They want you to find the sign of average velocity. Now, I hope everyone knows the definition of average velocity. Okay. So, average velocity in one dimension. No need to put vector sign in one dimension. So, since it is moving along x-axis, only one coordinate is changing. So, it is a one-dimensional motion. What is the formula for average velocity? x2 minus x1, which is what? What is this called? No, what is the name given to it? Displacement, right? x2 minus x1 is displacement divided by time interval. t2 minus t1. So for the whole interval they are asking. So starting time is this, final time is this. So this is your t2, this is your t1. Basically your t1 is 0. So look at the position. This is your x1 and where is your x2? Here. Correct? No. So which is more? x2 is more or x1 is more? Channa? x2 is more. So since x2 is greater than x1, it means this ratio will be positive or negative. If this number is greater than this number, bigger number minus smaller number will be positive. So average velocity will be positive. Write down. So you are not supposed to find tangent at one point. When do you do that? When do you find tangent at one point and then check is it acute, is it obtuse? That is for instantaneous velocity. For example, here if they want to know instantaneous velocity here, then you have to draw a tangent. Then you have to see the slope. It is positive. Here if you want to find the instantaneous velocity, then you have to draw a tangent. Then you can see it is making obtuse angle, slightly greater than 90 degrees. So here velocity is positive, here velocity is negative. Here what will be velocity? Here what will be velocity? Instantaneous velocity 0, because if you draw a tangent, it will be parallel to x-axis. So if the tangent is like this, slope will be 0. So for instantaneous velocity, you do those things. But for average velocity, to find the sign of average velocity, just you have to check final coordinate is more than initial coordinate or not. If final coordinate is more than initial coordinate, then your average velocity will be positive. So in some cases, the graph may look like this. The particle may start from here and then go here. So for this interval, if I ask average velocity from here to here, average velocity, positive or negative? Negative, because now x1 is here, x2 will be below. So you can see x1 is more than x2. So x2 will be less. So the average velocity will be negative. Write down. So for this graph, average velocity will be negative. So when to apply which technique, you have to revise carefully. Now, if you have seen my last few classes, last 2 days, what about the time of ascent and time of descent? When I throw a ball up, time of ascent and time of descent are equal or different? They are equal. Those who have attended my class, they know this. Okay. So time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Now the question is, question number 3. If air resistance is taken into account, now students, whatever we did previously was under what topic? Free fall. Free fall means the only force acting should be gravity, no other force, no air resistance. Pankaj sir should not hold the body. If I hold the body, then my force will also act. So my force should not act, air resistance should not apply. So the body should fall only under gravity. Then in that case only I can say time of ascent is equal to time of descent. But if you include air resistance, then time of ascent and time of descent are never equal. Once I teach you Newton's laws, mathematically I will try to show you mathematically why time of descent will be different from time of ascent mathematically. Right now, using our experience, our everyday life experience, you have to try to tell me, okay, if you throw something like this, while coming down, it will take more time or less time. If you take a very heavy object like this pen, then for this pen, air resistance is not so important. So you will see it will take same time only. You have to take some light object like feather you have to take, for whom air resistance can be neglected or cannot be neglected. When a feather is moving in air, can we neglect air resistance? We cannot neglect air resistance. Okay, so for very light objects, you try to think, if you throw it like this, while coming down it takes more time or while going up. It's obvious, as Sunishti is saying, while coming down, obviously it will take more time. Okay, you just throw something like this, as it while going up, it will go quickly up, and then while coming down, it say like this. So right now, without any mathematical proof, you should remember time of descent will be more than time of ascent. Right now, once we do Newton's law, mathematically also I will explain. Okay. So in question number 3, they are asking, if air resistance is taken into account. Question number 3, if air resistance is taken into account, then time of descent is always greater than time of ascent. So please remember this for 1 mark. From your experience, you should try to answer this. Later, I will give you mathematical proof once we do Newton's laws. Okay, so basically this chapter is over. The next chapter is motion in a plane, motion in a 2 dimension. Till now we were doing motion. Parachute is not, no, there will be other forces besides air resistance, because they will burn some gases below. So there will be force because of buoyancy, because as you heat the air inside, it expands, so it becomes lighter, so there will be buoyant force. So parachute will feel the buoyant force, that's why it just keeps on going up, and then somewhere if the buoyant force is able to balance the gravity, then it can move uniformly also, or you can bring it to rest also. So parachute is not like something which will just go up and come down, because other forces also act. Again, all those forces, see right now forces and all, you don't have to worry so much, because that will come in the, after we complete kinematics, then we will study about the dynamics. That time you will study about forces. Okay, so now we have to do motion in 2 dimension. But before I jump to this new session or new chapter, in NCERT it is a new chapter. In our EPL, I have made it into a another session. Second session is motion in a plane. Now, if you remember, motion in a plane, I will do some extra questions, don't worry. Motion in a plane, how many coordinate will change? Channa, how many coordinates will change? X coordinate only will change, or Y coordinate also? X coordinate also will change, Y coordinate also will change. So motion in a plane will be more interesting. It will have more number of things. But before we do that, we will solve some extra questions, mainly for entrance. Okay. This is the symbol I write for entrance questions. Okay. So look carefully. We will do some problems based on this topic. I hope all of you remember I told you displacement is area under what graph? Displacement is area under what graph? VT graph. Using this formula, we have derived S equal to ut plus half at square. So based on this formula, some very simple and interesting questions they can ask. So here is velocity, here is time, and the graph is given something like this. This is your vt graph. So the body starts with 0 speed, then it accelerates, and then it retards. Retards means its velocity decreases. And finally, again, it comes to 0 velocity. Understood this question? It starts with 0 velocity, then there is positive acceleration, then there is negative acceleration, and then it comes to rest. Now, this coordinate is given, let's say, 10 meter per second. This coordinate is 2 seconds. This coordinate is 4 seconds. So this graph will be given and they will ask you what is displacement in 4 seconds. In 4 seconds means what? From 0 to 4 seconds. So for this, don't use ut plus half at square formula because you have to find acceleration and all unnecessarily. Acceleration is not given, only graph is given. So here graphical method should be remembered. So in graphical method, what I taught to you, displacement is nothing but area under VT graph. So this is your VT graph. So what will be the area under this area? What is this area? Triangle. So apply the formula. Half into base. What is the base? 4 seconds. What is the height? 10 meter per second. So what will be the answer? 20 meter. Everyone understood? Units you write carefully, okay? Any doubt? Let me know now. So when graphs are given like this, you have to remember this concept. Okay. Now tell me, suppose they ask distance in the same question. Distance in 4 seconds. Same or different? It will be same or different? It will be same. Why it will be same? Because look, the whole graph was drawn in the first quadrant. The whole graph was drawn in the first quadrant. Meaning velocity is what? Positive or negative throughout this? Throughout this, velocity is positive. So since velocity is positive, it means the body always goes this side. The body is always going this side. It is never coming back. If it is coming back, what will be velocity? If it is coming back, velocity will be negative. But in this problem, you can see velocity is positive. Yes, I know. Up to 2 seconds. Up to 2 seconds, velocity is increasing. So it starts with 0, then 2 meter per second, 3 meter per second, 10 meter per second. Then after that, again 8 meter per second, 5 meter per second, 2 meter per second, and then it again stops. So I know up to 2 seconds, it will increase its velocity, right? You can see. After 2 seconds, velocity decreases, but it is still going in the same direction. Just because I am slowing down doesn't mean I am going back, remember. I am going this way. First, I am moving faster, 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 then slower, 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 then stop. So since I was moving in the same direction, displacement and distance will be same for this question. Okay, so distance also will be 20 meter. For curve, we have to use integration, Advait. Directly for curve, we have to use integration. Directly, we cannot write. You can write area, but you will not be able to calculate the area if it is a curved graph. That also we will do some example later. Question number 2 you see now. VT graph. So this is your VT graph, okay? 10 meter per second minus 10 meter per second It may not be perfect, so please try to draw properly. This is 4 seconds, this is 8 seconds. So what is displacement in 8 seconds? Displacement in 8 seconds. Anybody? Displacement in 8 seconds. That will be 0 now. Why? Because up to 4 seconds, velocity is positive. So it is going like this. After 4 seconds, it is coming back. Why it is coming back? How do I know, sir? Because velocity is negative. Since it is negative, it is coming back. So this displacement will be positive. This displacement, it is a vector quantity. No, displacement is vector quantity. So if this is positive, this should be taken negative. So you can calculate this area. Half, base is 4, height is 10, minus, you have to write minus, remember. Then calculate this area. Half, base is 8, sorry, base is 4. Base is how much? What is this gap? This gap is 8 or 4? 4, because gap means this coordinate minus this coordinate. 4 into this height is 10. Minus sign I have written here already. So don't write one more minus sign here. So that will be 0. Which basically means what? It started from here, went like this, faster, 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 slower, 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 stopped. Here it stopped because velocity is 0. Then it comes back, faster, 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 then again slower, 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 and stops. So displacement in 8 seconds is 0. What will be distance? Distance you cannot subtract because distance means what? Total length of the path. Distance means, you have to remember my first class in this chapter. Distance means total length of the path. So this distance plus this distance you have to do. So it will be half into 4 into 10 plus half into 4 into 10. That will be 40 meters. Now, if they give you graphs like this, will you be able to do? Like this, will you be able to do or not? Why? Because this is area of rectangle. So just multiply this coordinate with this length with this breadth. That will give you area of rectangle. So like that, I may give you in some of the exams which we may conduct very soon. You should be able to solve. Done? Okay. Now, every time I told you if A is constant, and somebody will ask you to find displacement in 8 seconds, 2 seconds, and they have given you initial velocity, time taken is let's say 5 seconds, then what formula will you use? S equal to ut plus half at square. And if they give you graphs which are not curved, then you have to find the way I taught you these two problems. So this is the way to find displacement if acceleration is constant. Now, do you remember how I found this? If you remember how I found this was, I started with this formula. This is the formula for what velocity? Instantaneous velocity. Then I cross multiply. Right? And then I integrate. Remember or not? And formula for V I substitute here. What was the formula for V? U plus AT. So that formula I substitute here and I then do the integration. That gives me this formula. Right? So if acceleration is constant and you want to find displacement, no need to write this way because already we have derived the formula. But sometimes acceleration will not be constant. Then you will have to do this technique. Okay, so let us understand. So let us do some problems where acceleration is not constant. So concept is, if acceleration is function of time, which means not a constant. So if acceleration is function of time, not a constant, then how do we solve the problem of finding displacement after 2 seconds, after 5 seconds? How do we find? Look carefully. So let me give you one question. If acceleration is equal to 2t, if acceleration is equal to 2t, I write. Now this is a constant acceleration or changing acceleration. This is a changing acceleration because with time acceleration will change. So students, once you come to know acceleration is not constant, don't even think of using those three equations. Question is, and body starts from rest. Okay, so acceleration is this much, body is starting from rest. You have to find displacement after 3 seconds. After 3 seconds. So again and again I'm telling, don't start writing s equal to ut. You cannot do that. So how do we do that? We use calculus method. So look here. Given acceleration is 2t, correct? Yeah, integration we have to do. So acceleration is given 2t. Now what is the definition of acceleration? dv by dt. Because this is instantaneous acceleration. Since it is instantaneous acceleration, we can write dv by dt. Correct or not till now? See, you have to remember, okay, what was instantaneous acceleration, what was instantaneous velocity, all those formulas you should remember. So that is equal to 2t. Now what you do, cross multiply. Cross multiply. After cross multiplying, if you remember that next step, we have to integrate. Right? Now next step is to integrate. So integration of dv. Here 2 is constant. You can take it outside. ddt. Now we have to read the question. We have to read the question and check what are the initial conditions. Students, if they don't mention this, look here. If they don't mention this, you will get grace marks. You will get grace marks. Why? Because if they don't tell us initial condition, how are we going to find final condition? Yes or no? Even when somebody, for example, suppose there is an astrologer. So suppose there is an astrologer who says, I'm going to tell you about your future. And you cannot go and tell, okay, tell me my future like that. He will ask you, no, what is your birthday? Give me your hand. I will see your hand. So some initial condition should be given to him. Then he will use whatever techniques he has to tell the final condition. Similarly in physics, some initial conditions must be mentioned. Once initial conditions are mentioned, then using the equations of physics, we will find the final condition. Matlab, after 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, matlab what? Future I am talking about. After 3 seconds, where will the body be? How much far it will go? That is called displacement. Are you understanding or not? So they must mention to you the initial condition. If they don't mention the initial condition, nobody can solve. So now look here. So here the variable is velocity, right? Here the variable is time. So when time is 0, initial time, what was the velocity according to question? They said the body starts from rest. So velocity was 0. So I hope everybody remembers. Here we have to put limits belonging to time variable, and here we have to put limits belonging to velocity variable. And after what time? Right now don't write 3, okay? Just write t. Just write t right now. So after time t, what will be the final velocity? I have no idea. So v, let me write. Don't put 3 seconds here. If you do that, then you will be calculating velocity at 3 seconds. Nobody is asking velocity at 3 seconds. We are asking displacement after 3 seconds. Okay, students, so don't put 3 right now here. This much is clear. Okay, so now we have to just apply the formula of integration. So what is integration of dx? X. What is integration of x power n dx? X power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. All these formulas I will not keep on revising again and again. So what is integration of dv? V. Upper limit is v, lower limit is 0. 2. What is integration of t dt? Integration of t dt will be, if this is 1, then this will be 1, this will be 1. So integration of x dx will be x square by 2. So this will be t square by 2. Upper limit t, lower limit 0. Correct now? What was the next step? Put upper limit in place of function. So b here, then minus put lower limit. Same thing, put upper limit, put lower limit. Lower limit is 0. So what will be v equal to 2 will cancel t square. So what we found now, if you see the question, we have found what velocity? Final velocity after t seconds. So what will be the final velocity after 3 seconds? Can you tell me from here? After 3 seconds, what will be final velocity if they ask you? 9 meter per second. After 2 seconds, if they ask final velocity, 4 meter per second. So easily you can now tell the final velocity. But students, you cannot use this formula. To find final velocity, you cannot use this formula. Why, sir, we cannot use? Because this is only used when acceleration is constant. When acceleration is constant. Already, if you remember, while deriving also, I told you so many times. So in most cases, they may ask you to find velocity. So you can do it according to this formula. But they wanted displacement, right? Now this is formula for instantaneous velocity, because using this formula, you can find velocity at any time t. So since this is formula for velocity at time t, it is instantaneous velocity. So we can write for instantaneous velocity. What we can write? Because we want displacement, remember. So we can write dx by dt. Correct or not correct? Because we know instantaneous velocity is dx by dt. Right? Then you cross, that will be equal to t square. Correct? Correct now? Okay. Now what is the next step? Same story now. Cross multiply. Cross multiply. Then integrate. Directly I will do now. When time was 0, what was the initial coordinate? We don't know, so let us write x1. You can take 0, but they did not say it starts from origin, remember. They did not say it starts from origin, so you write x1. And after time t, what will be the final position? x2, let us say. What will this give me? Directly, if you told, it will give you x2 minus x1. Yes or no? Shall we write directly this time? Students, you know integration of dx will be x. Put upper limit, minus sign, put lower limit. Is it okay? Because this is for entrance exam, you have to be a little faster. Okay. Those who did not understand, look here. Integration of dx is x. Then I have to write upper limit as final coordinate, lower limit as initial coordinate. Then I have to put upper limit minus put lower limit. So this part you should now try to do little faster. With time, you should try to do little faster. Here, what will be the answer? What is integration? Yes, it is t power 3 by 3. Upper limit t, lower limit 0. Which formula I have applied? X power n dx. X power n dx is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So t square will be t power 2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. And this quantity is what we call displacement, right? This quantity is what we call displacement. So displacement will be equal to put upper limit t power 3 by 3 minus lower limit. So this is your displacement. Understood or not? At what time they asked? After what time they asked? T equal to what time they asked? Everybody understood this integration, right? So after 3 seconds, if you substitute 3 here, what will you get? 3 cubed by 3. 9 meters. So that is your answer. So like this, you have to do more problems. I will give you one homework question. Everybody should try and submit. Okay. Yeah, 3 meters is the answer. And this x2 minus x1 is nothing but displacement. Again, one more thing you see. Suppose they tell it starts from origin. If it starts from origin, then you can write what here? Initial coordinate, what you can write? 0. Then you can write here simply x. Okay, final coordinate, you can simply write x. Why I wrote x2? Because there was x1. In my home, if there are two sons, then if one is Ram, other will be Shyam, like that. But if there is only one son, you can give whatever name you want. Similarly, initial coordinate is 0, final coordinate is x. So displacement will be what in that case? X. Displacement will be x. Okay. Okay, fine. So try these questions. No, I will not do, but you have to do at home, not now in the class. Now I want to start the second chapter. Okay. So homework question. First question is, if acceleration is 5t square, or let me write 3t square. If acceleration is 3t square and initial velocity is 0, initial velocity is 0 means it starts from rest. Then find final velocity after 2 seconds. So I want only final velocity. I don't want displacement. Second part, if acceleration is equal to 2 plus 5t, this is constant acceleration or changing acceleration? This is also changing, but time, since time is there, no. So if acceleration is 2 plus 5t and initially is, let us say 0 only, no problem, then find displacement after 1 second. Find displacement after 1 second. These two questions you try and check whether you have understood or not. If you don't get, no problem. Next class again I will show you how this will come. Write down the questions. Please don't try now because I want you to be little relaxed, and after some time if you do, then you will actually understand whether you remember whatever I have told or not. Now only if you try, of course you will remember, but you should be able to remember after 3 hours also, after 1 day also. So that's why try these questions little bit later, not now. Okay. So before I close this chapter, students, again, one thing, please concentrate. If A is constant, then use the three equations. Three kinematic equations use. Okay. But in some cases like these problems which I have done for entrance exams, sometimes A will be function of time. Then in that case, if you want velocity, what you should do, write this acceleration as dv by dt, whatever function is here. This function will depend on the question. When you cross multiply, then you integrate. Okay, put the limits according to the question. So at initial time, if velocity is u, write u. After final time t, if velocity is v, write v. Then this will give you v minus u, right? If you put upper limit, lower limit, and this you have to solve. Understood or not? This you have to solve. No, this I cannot tell you answer right now. That will depend on what? This answer will depend on what, students? Not t. This answer will depend on the function. Yeah. Depending on the function, the answer will change. Then after you find v, in this calculation, you will be able to find v as some function. Right? Stalin told this answer will be in terms of t. So v, you will come to know v in terms of t. So once you know v in terms of t, from here, what you should do? Use the definition of instantaneous velocity, dx by dt, which is a function of t. Then cross multiply and then integrate. Understood? This will be a different function. So let me write g. So this is the technique, okay? Just to understand, this is the technique to solve. Okay. Before I start the new chapter, one very interesting question one of my students has asked me, which I want to share with all of you. So look here. Question is, a train, please write down the question. This is only for entrance, okay? So listen carefully, very interesting question. A train starts from rest. A train starts from rest and has constant acceleration 2 meters per second square. So here, can I use those three equations, yes or no? Yes, I can use. Okay. After 2 seconds, okay, from the start, starting velocity was 0, remember. After 2 seconds, one of the bogie, A is in the diagram they have shown, separates and moves uniformly. Matlab, one of the bogie, the last one actually in the diagram they have shown, the last bogie separates after 2 seconds. Once it separates, that bogie, according to the question, moves what, students? Uniformly. Uniformly, matlab what? Its velocity will be constant. It will not have acceleration. Okay. Question is, what is the distance between A, this bogie, A, and the train, the remaining train, 5 seconds after separation. 5 seconds after separation. Before separation, so they will move together only. So how will there be distance between them, right? Okay, first you write the question, think about the question, then I will discuss. Okay, look here now. Writing part is done. Okay, everybody concentrate now. Look here. Imagine this is the train. This is the, and this is the last bogie. Let me write like this. Now, first, according to question, it started from rest. So it starts with what velocity? Zero velocity. Now there is a acceleration. Acceleration. If acceleration is there, velocity should increase this side or this side, but let me show this side. So it starts increasing the velocity. Together it moves. Up to 2 seconds, it moves together. Okay? Up to 2 seconds. Now at 2 seconds, what happens? Now, right now, please concentrate. This was starting velocity was 0. After 2 seconds, it will have some velocity. Yes or no? That velocity will be same for both of them right now. Bogie also and this also. It will be same velocity, right? So then here it separates. It separates. Then what they told? This one moves what they told. This one after 2 seconds. This one moves in what way? Uniformly. So this will go with whatever velocity it got. Whatever velocity it got from here to here, this will continue with the same velocity. But this one will accelerate. This one has constant acceleration. So this one will keep accelerating. So now some gap will come. So yes or no? Because this is moving with same velocity, but this is moving faster and faster. So gap will come. Yes or no? Yeah. That gap they are asking. So let us solve. Let me write whatever they have told here. Okay. Initial velocity is 0 for the train. Acceleration is 2 meters per second square. What time it separates? 2 seconds it separates. At 2 seconds it separates. 2 seconds it separates. And then after separation, they want the gap 5 seconds after separation. After separation. Okay, I'm just writing this separately so that I will rub this part. Again, as I told, what will help you? Diagrams will help you. So look carefully. So this is my train. And this is one of the bogie, let's say it. Right now, at the start, velocity was 0. Okay, initial velocity was 0 when they started. Now, 2 seconds from here to here, let's say this is 2 seconds. From here to here, okay? So that time, this separates they told. Okay? So till now they are moving together only, remember? Till now they are moving together only. After 2 seconds, it separates, remember? So from here to here, 2 seconds. So let us calculate what is the velocity here, v. Okay, that we can do easily because acceleration is constant, they told. What is the acceleration? 2 meters per second square. So what will be the velocity after 2 seconds? V equal to u plus at. So v will be, initial velocity was 0 here. Plus acceleration is how much? 2 meters per second square. After what time it separates? After 2 seconds. So this is 4 meters per second. So right now this velocity is 4 meters per second. This much you understood or not? Everyone? Okay. So now let us see what happens. After this, let us see what happens. After this, in the question they told, this one separates and it moves uniformly, right? So this part will move uniformly. So this part will be somewhere here, let's say. 5 seconds later. Okay, what seconds later? 5 seconds later. This is 5 seconds. Okay, let me not write time here. So this one has reached here. Okay, then this part will be farther or there only. It will be more farther or there only. What do you think? It will be farther because the remaining train is still accelerating. Remaining train is still accelerating. Remember, this one is moving uniformly. So let me show it little nearer so that I can show the remaining part. So this part will be farther. Okay, so let me do like this. Yeah. So this is what happened from here to here. From here to here, what time it is? After what time they want? 5 seconds, right? 5 seconds. Now look here. What will be the displacement of this part? This much. So this is displacement of the bogie. So let us calculate displacement of the bogie. Okay, the bogie. So for bogie, let us calculate the displacement of the bogie. Bogie went from here to here. In what time they told? 5 seconds after separation. So here they separated. After 5 seconds, bogie will go where? Let us calculate. S1 equals to, what is the formula? Ut plus half at square. What is u from here? From here to here. What is u? What is the velocity from here to here? Initial velocity. From here to here, initial velocity is 4 meters per second. So 4 into time taken plus half. What is the acceleration of bogie? Bogie has no acceleration. Bogie has no acceleration because bogie is moving uniformly. Since acceleration of bogie is 0. Acceleration of bogie is 0. So what will be the displacement? 4t. Now they told after 5 seconds after the separation. So here separation started. 5 seconds later, displacement of the bogie will be 4 into 5. 20 meters. Displacement of the bogie will be after 5 seconds. Okay, from here. From here it started to separate. So from here to here, displacement of the bogie from here to here will be 4 into 5, which is 20 meters. Why no acceleration? Because according to the question they told, bogie is moving uniformly. This is clear? Okay. Now let us calculate displacement of the train. From here onwards, from here onwards. Be careful, students. So for train S2, let me say. So this train has gone somewhere. This back part will be here. No. So train has covered this distance. So this is the distance covered by the train. So for train, what will be the displacement? Ut plus half at square. Now remember, I am applying from here onwards after the separation has started. So what is the initial velocity here? 4 meters per second. Time taken after 5 seconds they asked. After 5 seconds they asked separation. So in 5 seconds, when bogie has reached here, train will reach where? That is what we are calculating. So here I have to put 5. Acceleration of the train is constant, 2, remember. Into time is 5 square. So it will be 20 plus 25. How much? 45 meters. Correct, all of you? This part have also understood or not? So what is the distance between them? What is the distance between them? This is the distance between them. Correct, no? So distance between them, where shall I write? Here let me try to write, no space only. So first you write till here. Then I will explain. I will try to revise this question, no problem. So 5 seconds after separation. 5 seconds after separation, the distance between them, is S2 minus S1, because this is the distance traveled by train, this is the distance traveled by bogie in 5 seconds. So 45 minus 20. which will be 25 meters. Okay, students, everybody understood the problem? Okay, fine. See, it is something like this. Let us say you are here, your friend is here. You are here, your friend is here. You are running with constant velocity. Constant velocity. Okay, you started with, let's say 2 meter per second, constant velocity. He also has 2 meter per second right now. Right now, he also has 2 meter per second. You also have 2 meter per second right now. But you are moving with constant velocity. You don't have acceleration. But this person has acceleration. Let's say 5 meter per second square. Then who will cover more distance in 5 seconds? Your friend will cover more distance because your friend, let me add friend only. What will be the formula? S equal to ut plus half at square. But for you, what will be the formula? For you, what will be the formula? S equal to ut. Why only S equal to ut? Because you are moving with constant velocity. So your acceleration is 0. Understood or not, all of you? So after 5 seconds, if your friend covers this much distance, you will cover this much extra distance. This much what distance? Extra. That's why there will be some gap after 5 seconds. So after 5 seconds, if your friend will reach here, you will be somewhere here. Understood? And this gap will be S2 minus S1. Okay, students. So, no, force again, why are you worried? Why are you not listening to the question what they are saying? The question was, it is moving with uniform velocity after separation. Now, what happened? Some oiling they have done, they have neglected friction. All those things we did not ask now. This is only kinematics. Once we go to dynamics, then we will think about maybe some external force was applied which cancelled the friction. Therefore, it was moving with uniform velocity. So those things we will discuss later study. Okay. So for the timing today, what you have to do, students, is revise whatever we have done today. In this problem, I will advise all of you to go through once more in the evening once. Okay. YouTube, you know that in our YouTube channel, these videos are uploaded right now. For the time being, we are uploading it. So you can revise this particular problem once. Very good problem it is. Okay. Now, before I stop the class, some few things you all have to remind me. If there is a vector A bar, because from next class, it will be all about vectors. From next class, it will be all about vectors. So try to revise vectors. Little bit of revision I will give now. So suppose there is a vector A bar. And if I say this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis, then this vector will have two components. One component is this, which we write AX, and one component is here, which we write AY. Yes or no? And you know that this vector plus this vector is this vector. That's why we call these two what? If you add this vector with this vector, you get this vector. Therefore, we call these two vectors components. Now, how to write this vector? See, AX is only the magnitude. AX is only the length. So, this vector you can write AX, unit vector in this direction, I cap. And this vector you can write AY, J cap. Okay, students, please understand. This is a vector. This is a vector. This is only magnitude of the vector. So, A bar can be written as this vector AX I cap plus this vector AY J cap. Everybody clear with this part? Everybody clear why we write vector in this form? Yeah. After that, suppose they give you this angle theta. and you want to know this magnitude, only magnitude, then what formula you'll use? Cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So adjacent is AX. Hypotenuse is A bar or A? Hypotenuse is A bar or A? A, remember, because hypotenuse means the length of the vector. Length of the vector means magnitude. So AX by A. So AX will be A cos theta. Similarly, you can use sin theta formula and AY will be A sin theta. Okay. So if you know this magnitude and this angle, you can find the X component and Y component. Sometimes ulta will happen. Ulta matlab you will know AX and you will know AY. Then how to find this magnitude? Magnitude of A bar. How to find? Root over AX square plus AY square. Correct or not correct this formula? And how to find this? How to remember this formula? Simple. Think of what theorem? Think of what theorem? PT, right? Pythagoras theorem. Like that. So this length will be A. This length is AX. So hypotenuse is adjacent square plus opposite square. Last part. How to find this direction of this vector? Direction matlab this theta. So tan theta will be what? Tan theta. AY, opposite is AY, adjacent is AX. Thank you students for today. Please revise vectors. This much is needed next class. This much is needed. Please revise carefully. We will continue. Thank you all of you.